Hello, my little subjects. My name's King Wolfowl, and welcome to my WrestleMania Night 1 reactions and recap. We're going to split Night 1 and Night 2 into separate videos just so I can kind of talk about them while they're relatively fresh in my brain, or as fresh in my brain as it can be at 1 o'clock in the morning after also doing a recap for another show. This weekend's pretty hectic. We're going to hop right into it. U.S. title match. So show opens with a U.S. title match. Well, after we get intros from Miz and Snoop Dogg because they're hosting the show. Austin Theory does his entrance, and John Cena does his entrance, right? John Cena gets a hype video about how he's a community leader and a Make-A-Wish legend, and then he enters with a bunch of Make-A-Wish kids, and in my head I went, oh no. There's zero way that as the opening match of Mania, a bunch of Make-A-Wish kids come out with John Cena, and then John Cena loses, right? There's no way. I was getting really worried, but after a pretty solid match, not anything super special, but it's Austin Theory versus John Cena. We wanted it, we got it, and Cena had Austin up for the AA. He held onto the ropes, and when Cena finally pried him off the ropes, it knocked the ref down. He ended up locking Theory in the STF. Theory taps out. Cena's like, yes, I won, but the ref is knocked out. Uh-oh. So what do you do when the ref is knocked out? Austin Theory, in all his glory, because this is the first night of WrestleMania. And this is how you end the first match of WrestleMania Night 1. He punches Cena in his penis, and then hits the A-Town down for the win. Cena got pinned from one finishing move and a penis punch. But still, it's insane to think that John Cena just lost a WrestleMania title match for one finisher. Big match John. Yeah, fun opener. It was a fun opener, not anything special, not anything crazy. We'll save the crazy stuff for the next match. The special 4-way tag match. Holy crap. This match was way better than they had any right to be. I don't think anyone went into this match thinking, oh, this might be match of the night. And then the match happened, and in my head, I was like, I don't know if something's going to top this. Spoiler, there are things that did, but it was so good. This whole card was insane. So for those that forgot the teams in the match for some reason, Street Profits, Viking Raiders, Alpha Academy, and I wrote Braun O'Shea, Ricochet, and Braun Strowman. Just some highlights from the match. Chad Gable doing a gosh dang Chaos Theory German suplex to Braun Strowman. For those who don't know what the Chaos Theory is or haven't seen, it's technically called like an O'Connor roll German. For those who don't know what move I'm talking about, it's the thing that Doug Williams used to do in TNA, right? You grab him, and I think this is technically Chad's finish, but he doesn't hit it all the time because he doesn't win ever. So you run him into the corner, and then you roll backwards while holding on to them and basically do a deadlift German suplex to the person after rolling through. Chad Gable did this to Braun Strowman, and the crowd went insane. I went insane. It was crazy. So yeah, he hit a Chaos Theory on Braun. Braun did his stupid choo-choo train move, and I was like, wow, this move sucks every time he does this. And Angelo Dawkins full stop Braun. Like, he clotheslined Braun and full stopped him, and it was awesome. I used to be one of those guys that was like, man, Montez Ford is a future star. Sorry, Angelo Dawkins. Now I want the best for both of them. Angelo Dawkins has come so far. He's so good now. I think there was a bunch of crazy spots. Ricochet did a shooting star to the outside on some people where he was basically just floating in the air for a bit. And then we had Montez Ford hit Ricochet with a frog splash for the win. So that's my first incorrect for the night for WrestleMania Night 1. I even wrote in my notes right here, match was way better than they had any right to be. It was just a weird fatal 4-way tag match that just was great. It was really good. Next up, you have Paul versus Seth Rollins. Paul got a zipline entrance. I thought he was going to do the full Shawn Michaels zipline entrance. But he was mic'd up too, and he was just going, "I got a zip line for my birthday," and he was like zip lined halfway down the ramp, and then a big old Prime mascot came out, a big old bottle of Prime, was running around, and I was in my head, I was like, "That's gotta be KSI or Jake Paul, right? That's gotta be. They're gonna help him win." Um, and we'll get to that. So big old Prime mascot Logan Paul. I do Logan Paul's a genius. And then Seth's special entrance, some dude that I guess runs a symphony. I was not paying attention to who this guy was. Conducted people singing the Seth Rollins, oh, that thing. Um, I thought this was gonna be. If you guys have, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the videos of a guy will literally conduct sections of a crowd, and he'll tell which parts of the crowd to sing, which parts to get higher and lower and louder and softer. It'll probably take much longer to set that up than a 5-minute WrestleMania intro. So they just played over the intercom with this guy conducting. So whatever. I also put in my notes, put the Prime mascot into 2K23, you cowards. If I can make a tag team of Ribby and the Prime mascot, my life will be complete. Okay? You don't understand how much I need this. I need the Prime mascot, and I'm going to give him the wet nap as a finisher. You can't stop me, 2K. Someone's going to mod it in. Someone's going to do it. So match is very hectic, very fun, very fast paced, as everyone thought it was going to be. It's Logan Paul and Seth Rollins, and then they reveal it was KSI in the Prime suit the whole time. He ripped the thing off, and his face, new meme unlocked. Go on Twitter and look up KSI Prime, and you'll find it immediately. You'll also probably find some porn, because that's how Twitter works. But you'll find it. It is just his face is. I would put it in here, but I don't have time to edit anything in here. I'm gonna edit music in and be done with it. Oh, so at one point, so we all know Logan loves to selfie, frog splash people through announce tables, right? So Seth was on the announce table, and KSI was like screaming at him. He's in the Prime. He's in the Prime suit, and he's just. Oh, what you gonna do about it? And you see him kind of leaning closer and closer to Seth, and Seth has his fingers in the armhole, and I'm like, KSI is about to go through this table. KSI is about to get frog splash through this table, and Logan Paul takes a swig of Prime, does the Triple H with some Prime, and as he's doing he's looking up to do the Triple H. Seth pulls KSI onto the table, so then Paul frog splashes onto KSI because he didn't see KSI get put on the table. Dude, why is Logan Paul a better ring psychology than a lot of wrestlers? Oh my god, it was insane. So he frog splashes KSI in the Prime suit on the table, and I'm pretty sure KSI stayed laying there for the rest of the match. He was, I think that I saw a picture of him on a gurney later, so they fully wheeled him into the back on a stretcher. Which is amazing, because KSI selling like he's not built for this is awesome, and him just in the Prime suit full selling a frog splash through a table. I love it. As silly as this is genuinely one of the this was match of the night for me until later. This was 100% match of the night for me until later. It was just really good. It was really, I like silly wrestling. This was silly wrestling combined with really good wrestling is what it was. So Logan Paul hit. So this was halfway through the match. There was more match after this. Logan Paul hit a GTS that looked really meh. I think it might have just been the camera angle. I haven't seen another angle of it, but it looked really not good, not great. Just a GTS. He just hit a GTS because he's Logan Paul. And he can just hit whoever's finisher he wants. He doesn't care. You want a buckshot? Here's a buckshot. You want a GTS? Here's a GTS. So I even wrote in my notes, Logan hit a very mad GTS, which is weird because he usually nails a lot of his stuff. Oh, he went to go do a coast to coast, and I was like, oh, this would be cooler if I didn't just see Grayson Waller do a coast to coast at NXT. And then he gets super kicked out of the coast to coast. takes a stop, gets pinned 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins wins, as he should. So I'm two for 3 out of my predictions. And then Seth gets the win. The 6-woman tag. There's a really cool intro for the faces, where they like went over the accolades of Lita and Trish, and it was like in black and white, like almost like comic book style. And then like talking about how that inspired Becky to one day be a WrestleMania main eventer and stuff like that. A lot of very fun stuff. It was very fun spots. Like at one point, I think it was Io Sky was on the turnbuckle gonna try, or no, it was Dakota Kai gonna like on the turnbuckle like she was gonna do a dive, and then they lifted Trish up, or Lita and Becky lifted Trish up to Hurricane Rana Dakota off of the top rope to the outside through her partners. A lot of really fun stuff. I expected a turn from Trish here, but we went with the feel good babyface win. It ended with a manhandle slam off the top rope from Becky to Bayley for the pin. Kind of sucks to see Bayley get pinned. Damage control is just kind of fallen all the way down at this point. And it kind of sucks, but it's nice to get a good babyface win at WrestleMania. Although all but 2 of the matches on the main show were babyface wins. All but 1, if you don't count one of these people as babyfaces, but we'll get to that. So yeah, it was you get Trish, Becky, and Lita all kind of celebrating in the ring. Lita hit a moonsault without killing herself, and that's always a good thing. Trish was wearing a nice throwback to the last Hollowmania, Hollywood WrestleMania, the like silver and black. You guys know the outfit. You perverts know the outfit. The Trish Hollywood WrestleMania outfit. She was wearing like a modernized version of that. I know you know. We're gonna move on. It is. I would like to reiterate. It is 1 o'clock in the morning. This is my second recap video I'm recording. I'm tired, and we'll get to why I'm tired at the end of this. So they made a show of putting Bad Bunny on the Spanish commentary because Dominic and Rey Mysterio was up next. Dom gets the single greatest WrestleMania entrance of all time. All right, so he gets a full cinematic entrance where they show him being picked up from a prison, pulled out of his cell in cuffs, people screaming at him through chains and bars rattling cups on the chains, and full entrance. And then he's in a squad car. They show the squad car driving away, and then sirens go off inside the arena, and a squad car pulls out of this hallway, right? And it opens up, and he comes out wearing a Rey Mysterio mask, handcuffed, wearing just like dude, Dominic is. I mentioned this in my Stand and Deliver thing because for those that don't watch NXT, there's a guy in NXT called Wesley. Wesley is phenomenal in the ring, but I'm not a fan of his current character work. He plays a face that's a little more confident than like normally faces when they're confident. They're not egotistical about it. Wesley feels a little egotistical in his portrayal of his character, and I don't like that. But Dominic is the exact opposite. Dominic's character work is so good. It's so phenomenal, but his in-ring work lacks. And they're literally opposites for me. But this entrance was literally, I could not take my eyes off the screen. I think dude, it was so great. And then immediately after that, Ray gets an awesome entrance. He comes into the arena in a lowrider with Snoop Dogg. He comes out to Viva La Raza. Actually, no, he was playing one of Snoop's songs. It was playing one of Snoop's songs first. Oh my. I'm back. All right, it froze for a second. So it was playing one of Snoop Dogg's songs first, and then it started playing Viva La Raza, and then it played Ray's theme as he came to the ring. His mask too looked kind of like a weird helmet. I thought it was like a Captain Falcon helmet at first. It was weird. So yeah, for the match recap, at one point, Dominic gets thrown into the turnbuckle, and he's like when someone spears the turnbuckle, and they're like, And Ray took his belt off, and the crowd popped huge. The crowd popped huge, and he started spanking Dom with his belt. And Michael Cole freaked out. He was so happy to watch Dom get spanked by his dad. This whole crowd was cheering for a dad to kick his son's ass. It was awesome. So, oh yeah, Ray spanked Dom. Ray spanked Dominic, and Dominic left the ring to complain to his mom in the front row. He was like, "You're gonna let him do that to me? What the heck, mom?" And then he took his mom's drink and like threw it in his sister's face, and then Ray beat the crap out of him. I wrote here, Dom complains to his mom and throws a drink in his sister's face. He's a mega heel. Have him beat Cody immediately. My notes. Oh yeah, and then Dom gets slapped by his mom, and there's no DQ. So apparently, if your mom slaps you in the middle of your match, you don't get no, you don't win by DQ. Doesn't count. At some point, Judgment Day comes out, and Damian Priest slips a bag into the corner of one of the corners. Dominic Full takes a turnbuckle pad off. The ref is like, "Hey, stop that, you silly goose! Don't do that." So Dominic goes to the other side of the ring while the ref is putting the turnbuckle pad back on. Gets this chain, and Bad Bunny gets out from the announce table, pulls the chain out of his hand, and then that leads to Ray hitting the 619 and a splash for the win. Insanely fun match. I think it was the wrong choice of winner. I think Dominic should have won this match, but Rey Mysterio feel good moment right after Hall of Fame. Can't go wrong with it, especially because he came out to the Eddie theme, and it was a fun match. It was so fun. This whole card was insanely fun. It wasn't, from an in-ring standpoint, it could have been better. Ray did some really cool stuff, and Dominic was able to keep up for what it's worth. But I think Dominic's come leaps and bounds from where he was when he first started with Judgment Day. He is so good on the mic, and like with his character work now, he's one of the most intriguing characters on Raw, which is insane to me, because a year ago everyone was like, "We please get this man off our screen, send him to NXT to learn." So if he can just get up to where he needs to be with the ring work, he could be a top guy in the future. I'm excited to see where Dominic goes. And in a couple of years, when Ray's ready to retire, you can have Dominic. You can run this back on another Mania card as a retirement match. You could. It'd be fun. All right. So immediately after this, we had. Excuse me. Again, 1 a.m. Immediately after this, we had Rhea versus Charlotte. I think so. Charlotte came out to what I think is a new version of her theme song, and it sucked. It was so bad. I already didn't like her theme song, which is just a remix of Rick's theme. I wasn't a fan of it, and now they made it worse. I went on Twitter to see if it was a new song, and I could only find people being like, "Why is this song so bad?" So yeah, it was awful. Not a super quick start, kind of feeling out process type of match. And then at some point, Charlotte Flair gets German suplexed directly onto her face. I don't know if she over-rotated or under-rotated. I think she under-rotated. I think she was supposed to take a release German to land on her gut, on her stomach. Or maybe she thought she was taking something else for some reason, even though she was in German position and flipping backwards. So either she was supposed to take a regular German and over-rotated, or she was supposed to take a release German to the stomach and under-rotated, but she fully landed on her face. And you know she landed on her face because for the rest of the match, she had a ring burn right on her nose. And that's gotta suck. Dude, I trained for it. Here's a fun fact about me. I don't know if I've mentioned this in a different video, but I trained for a very short time when I was 18. And I got ring burn on like one of my arms and one of my legs, and it sucked. It's like a carpet burn, but somehow worse. I could not imagine having a ring burn on my nose. Oh, that feels awful. Especially because maybe it's because I wear glasses that I think that would be awful. Just sitting on there, that would suck. God, I'm a baby. I wrote ring burn on her nose. That's gonna suck in the morning. Lots of just miscellaneous big moves. Eventually, I think Charlotte kicked out of Riptide. Rhea. I'm trying to think of if Rhea kicked it out of anything big other than like the running big boots that Charlotte likes to do. I don't think she kicked out of natural selection. She might have though. I'm trying to keep like 12 matches worth of memory in my head at once, and it's not working. But the finish came from a Riptide off of the top rope. Oh yeah, Charlotte was running to Rhea in the corner, and she like slammed Charlotte into the turnbuckle. Those big LED turnbuckles they have now. She went face first into that, and then Rhea climbed up and Riptide off the top rope for the 1-2-3. Crowd was insanely hyped. Technically, this is a heel victory. Technically, Rhea is a heel, but people are so behind Rhea, it's insane. There was no way she was gonna get booed. Winning this match, there was zero way they were gonna boo her. So, Rhea technically a heel win, but crowd went insane for her. Even Charlotte was literally laughing and smiling and sitting on the outside like they kept cutting to her, and I felt like I feel like she was corpsing and she was supposed to be upset, but she was just happy for Rhea with how the crowd was reacting. She was smiling the whole time, which was which is nice to see, especially because Charlotte's one of those people who has the reputation of being selfish backstage. There's been a lot of reports on her just having a bit of an ego. About being how good she is. So it's good to see her being happy for the other people in the company. Again, disclaimer, that's rumor and innuendo on the wrestling feeds that I pay attention to. She could be the nicest person on the planet. I don't know her personally, but rumor and innuendo states that Charlotte's not always the happiest person to like put other people over. So to see her what seemed like corpsing and smiling and being happy for Rhea out there was really nice and cool. We get so with that match happening, we now know. I think they announced it earlier in the night, but I missed the announcement that the tag match was going to main event. However, you need Miz and Snoop Dogg to come out first so they can announce the attendance figures. I didn't write down the attendance figure. Why would I do that? That's a lot of effort. So Miz and Snoop Dogg came out to announce the attendance. Miz lies and says he posted that he was gonna issue an open challenge, and I thought for sure in my head that Bobby Lashley's gonna come out and kill the Miz, which would be fun. I thought we were gonna get a Bobby Lashley segment, and he was gonna come put Miz in the Hurt Lock, and that was gonna be that. And then maybe we can have Snoop Dogg and Bobby Lashley host night 2, which would be so entertaining. And then Pat McAfee just comes out. Pat McAfee shows up, even though there's been so many reports about Pat McAfee having nothing to do with WWE for the foreseeable future. Michael Cole fully comes himself. Miz says he doesn't want to have the match. Snoop goes, well, I'm the host of WrestleMania, even though I'm pretty sure Miz is supposed to be the host of WrestleMania. Miz, I think in the same promo said, well, I'm the host. I don't have matchmaking powers. And Snoop goes, I'm the host. I'm going to make the match. And so then Pat McAfee just murders the Miz, and at some point, I think Pat McAfee distracts the ref, and Miz gets in the face of George Kittle, who is a football player for the 49ers. I think he's their tight end. I could be wrong about that. I think George Kittle is a tight end for the 49ers. I know he plays for the 49ers. I'm pretty sure he's a tight end. Anyway, he kills the Miz. He hits a nice clothesline. It's clothesline on the Miz on the outside. So George Kittle and Pat McAfee kill the Miz. No, why? I'm not cutting that out. I'm not. It's too much effort. You're gonna deal with my camera freezing. We're almost there. All right. George Kittle and Pat McAfee kill the Miz, and we move on to the main event. The Usos get introed by Little Uzi Vert. Because why not? You could hear the crowd booing him the moment he came out on stage. And I don't think it was because of him. I think it's because people just wanted to get to the tag match. They just wanted to get to Sammy and Kevin. And the night at that point was getting kind of long. So he starts singing one of his songs. And then the Usos come out. And then Kevin and Sammy just get a normal entrance. My body's telling me it's time to go to bed, but I gotta recap WrestleMania. Um, so they just do their normal entrance, and I think Michael Cole even makes a note of it. You say, "Oh, no flashy entrance for these guys. They're just here to kick some butt." Um, and it was a very insane match. I'm going to say this was the match of night one. Maybe, I mean, I think Logan Paul versus Seth was better from an in-ring standpoint. Um, of just being a good match. Maybe even Rhea and Charlotte was a better match than this from just a straight in-ring standpoint. But from story, you add that story in there, and this was match of the night by far because it was the culmination of such an insane story. I've been preaching to my fellow fans that this needs to main event night one. First ever time a tag title match is main evented. I think any pay per view. Well, maybe not any pay per view, but definitely WrestleMania. Maybe it's the first time it's done a Big Four pay per view for sure. Um, it's just insane that this even happened. Um, what was weird to me, Sammy and Jay started, which both makes sense and both doesn't make sense to me. Because obviously they want to kill each other, so put them both in the ring together. But in my head, I was thinking keep them away from each other. So you have combinations of Sammy and Jimmy, Jay and Kevin, just kind of tagging in and out and never getting Sammy Jay until you eventually get Sammy Jay, and then they just kill each other. But they started with Sammy Jay, and it kind of had a slow start, slow build. A lot of really good matches start with a slow build. I wrote even on here that I wrote very few notes because I wanted to give this match my full attention, and it was a very good match. There was a lot of drama, a lot of close falls, a lot of very scary near falls. So some of them on here. Sammy kicked out of a 1D, a one and done, and Michael Cole popped so hard when Sammy kicked out. Because they made a note of no one ever kicking out of the 1D, and in my brain, I want to say they meant it as in also the 3D, because I don't think anyone ever kicked out in WCW or WWE of the 3D. I think because there was a storyline in TNA where the Motor City Machine Guns were the first people to ever kick out of Team 3D's 3D or the Dudley Boys 3D, and then Bubba turned on Devon because he blamed Devon. He didn't do it good enough, and that's why someone kicked out, and that's why they lost the tag titles. So I think Michael Cole, like the way Michael Cole reacted, made it feel like it was like the 3D is what they kicked out of. Even though this is the 1D, and someone has kicked out of the 3D. But I don't think anyone's kicked out of the 1D, so he was correct. But he reacted so big for it. Jay kicked out of a stunner, and Kevin Owens kicked out of a double Uso splash. Which these are all all three of these things are insanely protected finishes that people kicked out of. At one point, Sammy hit Jimmy with an Uso splash, and Jimmy kicked out. And I think Jay hit Sammy with a haluva kick. So people try just very personal feud, very personal match. So at the end so at some point the Usos put Kevin through the announce table. They're killing Sammy. Sammy finally gets an exploder into the corner on Jay. Gets a tag into Kevin. Kevin starts wrecking house. Sammy eventually tags back in. It comes down to Sammy and Jay in the ring, how it should end. Sammy hits a haluva kick. And then Sammy hits a second haluva kick. And then Jimmy tries to get in the ring and takes a stunner. And then Sammy stands across from the ring from Jay, who is beaten, battered, bruised in the corner. Eats a third haluva kick for the 3 count. And for your new tag team champions, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Beautiful ending. Phenomenal match. The crowd was insane. The crowd added to this match so much because they were going absolutely insane. I think this was proof. I hope for a lot of people that thought, oh no, Sammy needs to be world champion off of this feud, that the Sammy Jay was more important of a story to tell. And now that you've told that story, you can move on to other things. You can split the tag belts. You can have Sammy and Kevin lose the belts, and you can have Sammy go off on his own to go for a world title. You could do a lot of things here. I'm very excited to see where we go. We still have night 2 of WrestleMania. So I'm hyped. You can see I'm already repping Cody. For hopefully, I hope you're winning the belt tomorrow. I'm really worried now though, because I got all but one of these correct. Because I got that one wrong. I got damage control wrong, and I got Dom wrong. So that's 3 of 1, 2, 3. Oh, why? Stop it. 5, 6, 7 matches. So I got 4 of 7 matches correct. That's how math works. Woo. I fully forgot what point I was making. Match of the night, tag title match. I would probably follow that closely by, I don't know what I would put higher. Rhea Charlotte or Logan Paul, Seth Rollins. I want to go Logan Paul, Seth Rollins because I like goofy wrestling and the whole KSI in the prime suit. Plus the entrances were so over the top. I really liked it. But I'm also a huge Rhea Ripley fan, and seeing her win a belt was awesome. So yeah, WrestleMania Night 1 was really, you can't tell, I'm very tired. I'm going to be even more tired tomorrow. Because I work during WrestleMania tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to watch it. I'm gonna have to get off of work at 8 o'clock, watch it, and then do my reactions before I have to get up in the morning for the shift after that. So I'm having a fun weekend ahead of me. Let me know what you guys thought of WrestleMania Night 1, how you feel about the state of the rosters right now. You got Theory as US champion, Rhea's SmackDown champion. You got the new undisputed tag team champions of Kevin and Sammy. I'm assuming they're going to drop one of those sets of belts, or they're going to get like a new WWE tag title that'll probably follow the Raw tag title lineage, and then they'll have to make another new belt for SmackDown or whatever. Or they'll just have the tag battle titles float for a while. We'll see. But there weren't any other title matches, were there? U.S. title. Yeah, U.S. title, tag title, women's title. Except all the other IC title, Raw women's title, world title are all on tomorrow's show. Well, tonight's show, because I'm uploading this on 2nd. Math. Time, not math. I'm going to do the outro now before I lose my mind. I need to go to bed. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know about what you thought about the show here down in the comments. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Be good people. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.